Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Woody Jacob here to bring you a figure review. This one we're going to be talking about the DC Collectibles Arkham Asylum Killer Croc figure. And yeah, this is just a great figure. I really love it. We'll get into the figure in a second. Hope you guys seen my last video where I showed off the haul me and my girlfriend got. I did show this in package, but we'll show you the packaging again here. Let me look at that. Very nice. Of course, it's a deluxe figure because it's one of the bigger ones. Good picture of the figure. Yeah, it's definitely the figure. Okay. And then it shows some of the other ones they have available. At the comic book shop I go to now, which is a pretty good place, by the way, Lang's. It's in the Lake Small and Muskegon. They actually have a pretty good stock there. You know, figures, a good amount, not like crazy or anything, but definitely worth looking through. And they have tons of comics, tons of like graphic novel stuff, and it looks like they're going to be opening another little space in the mall for it too, but we'll see. But yeah, I just love it there. Anyway, that's not what this is about. They did have a Joker in stock. You know, the Titan Joker here, which is of course from the end of Arkham Asylum, and this is Arkham City. I didn't see the Solomon Grundy there, but it definitely looks like a great figure, and the Joker one looked good too, but I thought Killer Croc was more of a priority, honestly. But yeah, so I'll read you what it says here. Based on the blockbuster video games Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, Killer Croc lurks in the sewers beneath Gotham City, patiently waiting to devour anyone unlucky enough to cross his path. Whatever. But of course, it also says the name of who sculpted it and stuff like that. Of course, sculpted by Phil Ramirez right there. Now, I know I don't always show the name of the sculptors and stuff like that, but he definitely deserves some credit to this. But yeah, so let's take a look at the figure, shall we? Good packaging though, very nice, very clean. Right, here's a look at the figure. I know I have a webcam, but I don't think it's the worst quality in the world either, as I've said. But yeah, I really like this figure. I think it turned out very well. Now if you look at the figure on the box though, like right there, or even the picture they have of it here, you know, it's like a lot of the tan colored areas on like the chest and the part of the arms and biceps. It's a little bit more clean than it actually is on the figure. Like there's a little bit of green splotching like here and there, just in little areas every so often. But I don't think it's really that big of a deal. And even when I notice it, it honestly still looks kind of natural to me. You know, he has this wild mutation, so of course there could be like different spots of different colors and stuff. You know, it's not like the most far out thing in the world for Killer Croc, I don't think. So yeah, overall the paint though is really good. Let's get a look at that head sculpt here, which I think is just amazing. No less than amazing for sure. Now I know they have like an Arkham Origins Killer Croc available, but I definitely was more interested in this one. That's because at the point in the game of Arkham Origins, Killer Croc is less mutated than he is by the time of Arkham Asylum. Whereas in Arkham Asylum, he's much further along with his mutations, stuff like that, so he looks a little bit more monstrous. And I just love the design for this one a little bit more. But yeah, I just love the head sculpt. Let's get another look at that. Love how the teeth are sculpted. I know it's going to get kind of unclear here, but the eyes are painted really well. It's very clean, very well done. And the mouth can open a bit. I mean, also you can see the collars and stuff like that. And like this part of it, it feels like an actual chain. I think it is an actual chain right here. But of course the collar itself is plastic. And it's the same thing with these things right here. You know, like this part's plastic, but this part's an actual chain, I think, which is cool. Of course I like the leather bracers that are right here. You know, there's not like a whole crazy amount of detail in them, but I really love the sculpt to it. And in a way it does feel like a sort of like a plasticky leather you know, like a plasticky leather type of texture to it, which I think is cool. But of course the collar right here, it's a shot collar actually in the game. You know, of course when you're infiltrating Killer Croc's lair to extract the things that are needed with, you know, poison ivy and stuff like that. I haven't played the game in a while, but I do remember why you were down there. But yeah, so when you would hit this, it would shock him and like temporarily stun him for a minute or two. But yeah, so you can actually slip the collar off. It's pretty easy to slip on and off, by the way. You've seen how easy it came off, and you just put it. Yeah. Okay, now I'm making it look difficult, but it's really not. You just kind of got to slip it from the angle of his chin and then up like that, and there you go. And you just take it off like so, like that. And I actually think it looks pretty nice without it on too, so you can kind of go for either one. But yeah, his mouth does open a bit. Yeah. Not as much as I would like it to. It's a little bit stiff. It's a little bit tight. Like I wish it would open like all the way down to his chest maybe. I think that'd be cool. About right there, but still it's a decent amount. And I'm glad it does have that feature anyway. And you can kind of look inside and see the red tone that's painted a little bit maybe. But yeah. I really love how the teeth look too. How the teeth came out, again, very clean paint for the most part. Just like all the detail, not the dirtiness of it. It's very cool. I just love the sculpting work throughout the entire figure, man. Like just the scales, the texture of all of that, just looks amazing. Feels good too. Yeah, it's some great work. And then of course there's a lot of great wash going on with the pants, you know, making it look dirty, and like he's in the sewer obviously, so it's very nice work. And this is this plastic right here, but for a split second this feels like a rope, but it's really not, but it almost gives like the illusion of it for like a split second. Still cool though. And again, I told you about the chains, and there's those Killer Croc toes. No Sharnus Primal like that. But yeah, also like the collars themselves, like the chains on them have some like a little like silver dry brushing on it, which I think looks really good. You know, again, giving that dirtier effect to it too. And yeah, so just trying to think of any other specific things I want to point out about the figure. But yeah, it just looks amazing, man. You can't really deny that. It looks great. The sculpt's incredible. Yeah, you see that webcam quality isn't that bad, is it? It's a little questionable once you get closer, but still. Again, look at those eyes. Just really well painted. The yellow's very clear in there. And then there's a little black, and then just a touch of white, you know, to bring out that life in them. Just a little bit of red around it too, which is cool. I don't know if you guys can see all that, but you can see a little bit, I know. You know, it's a sculpt nice. This is a detail with the green throughout the figure too. There's like mixes of darker green, lighter green. I swear there's some like yellow here and there, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but I like the darker greens on certain parts of them too. Makes it look really nice, makes it pop. I like that. But yeah, let's get into the articulation a little bit. Of course, he is a bigger figure, so don't go into these types of things expecting a lot of articulation, because there's not a whole lot with this guy. But again, as I've told you before, articulation is nice, definitely. But I definitely care more about the sculpt, the detail, and the paintwork and stuff like that. And as far as all that goes, this guy is incredible. You know, I believe that's more important than the articulation. Articulation to me is nice, but it's really just a bonus. But yeah, let's take a look at it anyway. It's not bad articulation either, you know, it's about what you'd expect for a bigger figure like this. Move the ankle, it does go down a little and up just a bit, but it does have a decent ankle pivot going on. You know, a little one. It's not bad though. And then single joint at the knees. It's a tight joint though, you know, it makes you kind of nervous when you move it. But yeah, it does bend like that. I don't want to move it any further, I'd probably break it. But I bend it back like that. The leg goes out like that. Back like that. There you You guys can see that. A little bit further, actually. And it goes out a decent amount, too. You know, just a bit, but you don't really need much with this guy. And there's a waist swivel going on there. You can like turn him around for a whole 360 too, but I don't want to make him too loose. And no torso joint or anything like that, but that's fine because I like the sculpt that they have going on there. And like a torso joint when I like disrupted the flow of that. It's like the feeling of going up his body. Yeah, that doesn't sound creepy. Yes, it does. But anyway. And again, it's like the scales on this thing going up the back too. Just look at that. Just a nice texture going on. Very nice, but we already talked about that. And the hand does do a whole 360, like so. No finger articulation or anything like that, but again, not really needed. They're just sculpted really well. And I like how they gave us one fist, you know, like one closed hand like that, and then they give us one open hand. So you can get him in a decent pose, you know, perhaps like trying to, you know, having his neck against another figure, then having his like fist aimed like that or something, that would work. Or even just like holding someone up, that'd work too. Or my girlfriend had a good idea, you know, maybe he gets the collar off and he's pretty satisfied about that, so you can kind of have him like that if you want. Or if you turn the hand, it looks a little better, like so. So yeah, that would look pretty good. So a couple of different display options with this. I'm just leaving the collar off so I can show you all the articulation without disruption. So yeah, 360 at the hands, no forearm swivel or anything like that, but single joint at the elbows. Again, I'm sorry if I'm off the camera there, but I'm doing a different angle. I've been doing a different angle for the past couple of videos if you haven't noticed. But yeah, single joint at the elbows. Again, it's one of those tighter joints that you're a little bit nervous about at first, but he does do it. Yeah, so there's that. And there is a bicep swivel, though, surprisingly. Excuse the voice crack, bicep swivel. So that's kind of nice to see. It moves actually pretty well. But, sorry again, going off camera. Apologize. Very nice. Actually, there's a whole 360 at the bicep, that's cool. And the arms go out a pretty good amount. And obviously the other one does the same thing, except it's a little bit tighter here for some reason. I think it's the little sculpted part right here that kind of gets in the way a bit, but still, not a big deal. And then the head does a whole 360, and it moves up just a bit and down a little bit, not bad. So you can, again, have a couple different display options with this guy. And like I said, the jaw and mouth does open a bit. I would like to see it open a little bit more than that. But again, it's not bad like that. It does its job, I think. So it's not a full-out roar, but it's kind of the starter one, or maybe a growl. So it works, for sure. And yeah, it even looks cool like that with the teeth and stuff, so it's good. But yeah, let's look at a size comparison, too. I have the box I can sort of try to balance them on right here. But yeah, I can just show you them side by side. But yeah, here's the Arkham Origins Batman figure, and they're staying at about the same level right now, so you can kind of get a good idea of the size. And the game, I know they're based from different games in the series, but in the game, I think Killer Croc is just a little bit bigger against Batman than he is with these figures. He might be like closer to that or something. But still a pretty good scale, you know, pretty accurate to the game. It's close enough, you know, if it's not completely correct. So I think it's pretty good with that. Good scale with the rest of the Arkham figures too. And yeah, I'll show you him with the Arkham Origins Joker as well. And obviously Batman's a little bit bigger than Joker, so Joker's even smaller than Croc and Batman is. So it works too. And also, I'll be reviewing this figure most likely tomorrow, and I absolutely adore this figure. I'm showing here, by the way, it's the new Arkham Knight Harley Quinn figure. I just love this thing, by the way. But we'll get into that next time. But yeah, so yeah, it's a pretty good size difference with most of the Arkham figures, I think. Definitely works, definitely fairly accurate to the game. I like it. And again, we'll get into that Harley Quinn figure. I love it, I swear. But again, enough about Harley here. But yeah, so overall, that's all I really have to say about it. But overall, it's definitely a great figure, despite the little articulation. It does have a decent amount, and the sculpt on it, I just think is incredible, and the detail is great. The paint work is, for the most part, pretty good. Just really well detailed, really well sculpted. Just everything about it, man. It's a very nice figure. I'm glad I have it. Definitely stands out in your DC collection, on your DC shelf. Great work by the sculptor, Gentle Giant, DC Collectibles. Hats off to you too. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys next time, most likely to review the Arkham Knight Harley Quinn figure. And yeah, I'll catch you guys for that. Hope you guys have a good night, and peace.